And now, the real episode 46, not that last imposter, of Clash of Clans Attacks, brought to you by Galadon and the clans of Lost
Peter,
Phoenix.
$17.
Today we're going to look at a variety of attacks, not just other styles of GoWiWi, but we've got a hog attack and some attackers that are adjusting on the fly. They just happen to be from Lost Phoenix. But not to disappoint, let's start out with a couple of fails for the day. This one from a former Lost Phoenix member who shall remain nameless. And let's just say he's probably happy to be nameless because this is a pretty pitiful attack, which begins with a Hogrider and a Golem heading out here to lure the royals, I guess. The Golem's almost down. He's already broken into two pieces. And he sent in a Barbarian there. And there goes the Golem. So one Golem, one Barbarian, one Hogrider down. No damage. So we send in some troops from the top. Here comes the hero lure. The clan castle comes in. The witches and wizards are deploying. They're going to start to do some damage to these mid-level heroes. And the queen goes down, so he starts his attack. He throws a golem and a couple of wall breakers. And if you look at the top of the screen, the king is going to be victorious against those clan castle troops. As he spread out some wizards, now the king turns around and starts to annihilate wizards willy-nilly. Another golem here on the left. And at about this point of the replay, I realized that this is actually a variation of the LRC attack. It's called the WTF attack.
Ultra fail.
And here comes the opposing clan castle troops to help clean up. The level 15 king is still doing damage. Pretty much all of the wizards have been wasted now. And as the clock starts to count down, this attacker realized that he just had absolutely no chance. He saved his king and his queen for a future fail and ended the attack.
You are, Galadon.
So we'll move on to another failed attack. This one here, a successful defense by Mose of Lost Phoenix, the attacker from a clan with a bad word in its name.
Shut up, you big
And
baby.
as we'll see in a moment, this attack is going to go south pretty quickly with a failed hero lure. We have activated the king and the queen, and they're headed out to the right. But he gets impatient, and he lays these troops down too soon. The golem comes down, and look at the king change directions and go after that golem. Now, the attack isn't doomed quite yet, but here comes a whole bunch of wizards out of the clan castle. They're going to have to be dealt with. The king is eventually going to go down as the queen did. And all the troops are moving in now. And we've got wall breakers that have made through some of those enclosures, but not all the way to the town hall. The last golem comes down, still dealing with the clan castle troops. And now, as the clan castle is gone, they're moving in closer to the center, but we haven't cleared the left and the right enough. And a lot of those units are going around now, including the king and the queen. But much to this attacker's credit, he has used some well-placed spells there, including that rage spell. Now he's going to enrage the king as he heads towards the town hall. A well-placed freeze helps preserve the king, and he's going to go to work on that town hall, but it's going to be a race. And down the stretch they come. Barbarian King in the lead, multi-targeting Inferno in second, Expo in third. It's going to be close, coming down to the wire, and the winner by a nose. Multi-targeting Inferno with the win. Expo takes second, Barbarian King takes third.
That was awful, Galadon.
And unlike horse racing, there are no inquiries here. That town hall is going to be left standing, while he can only hope that his level 24 queen will have enough time to take out 50% worth of the buildings. But I'll save you the terrible Trevor Denman impression as we watch the clock count down to 0 and the final tally of damage, 49%. Now, this next attacker is a current member of Lost Phoenix and actually a founding father and somebody who helped me achieve champion for the very first time. Here we are going to take a look at a replay by 4Lamb. He will be using the GoWiWi approach, but with a slightly different timing of deployment of troops, and here he comes with all three of his golems pretty much at the same time, but spread out widely enough that they won't bunch up on each other. He follows them up with some wizards and wall breakers, and as he sees that third golem go around the corner to the right, he wisely saves his wall breakers there. Then he just lays out a huge spray of wizards that start to move in all together, taking out all of those structures. And then you'll see here in another variation, he lays out a ton of wall breakers and uses freeze spells to protect them. Notice he stacked a second one right as the first one was about to Sorry about that, had a minor stroke there for a moment, as the first one was about to wear off, and the wall breakers get pretty deep, and then he finally releases his king and his queen to head towards the center, a third freeze spell, and while the king goes off to deal with the remaining clan castle troops, the queen is laser focused on getting to that town hall, and once she gets those surrounding structures that were there protecting it, it goes down in a flash. So Lamb showing some great flexibility here, some great use of a slightly different setup of spells, and a very effective 2-star GoWiWi victory. And moving right along, another attack replay from Lost Phoenix. This one of a Lost Phoenix OG to legit. And he is going to overwhelm this base with Hogriders, but not before he activates the King, Queen, and the crucial activation of the Clan Castle when using Hogriders. Now this looked ugly the first time I watched it, as those witches have had time to generate a ton of skeletons before they got out to the corner. Sorry, relapse. But he very wisely deploys his queen and uses her special ability to summon some more archers just to make sure that he doesn't have the tide turn against him here. Eventually he's going to go ahead and drop his king and his special ability down to take out that much higher level queen. Here he comes, only 19, but he does quickly take out the archer queen, and now he's clear to drop a massive number of hogs. And you'll see he spaced them far enough apart that they will go after individual defensive structures, but close enough together that they'll all be affected by the heal spell and this rage spell, and very quickly they've worked their way down the southeast side of the base, loses a few to a spring trap there, but they are getting rid of almost all those defensive structures. The king working his way north, the queen working her way south in support. We're already at 43%. Now, I might have missed it there, but he did deploy a very strategically located freeze spell that froze that multi-targeting inferno to the north so that it would not prevent the healing that was being done to his hogs at the time. And now, as this hog ride starts to come to a close here, you'll notice that they have managed to take out every single defensive structure on the southern side of this base. But look who's still down there, a couple of witches, a couple of wizards, and a queen that is almost at full health. And now, like he had some sort of magical control over the queen, she turns to the right, targets that dark elixir storage, and that leaves the town hall. And with some time left, she will eventually work her way in there and grab the 2nd star for a very legit hog attack.
You think you're so clever, Galadon.
It actually ends up being very close to 3 stars there with 88% total damage.
Look, Galadon can count.
So we'll move on to the last attack of the day, this done by Dave, another founding father of the clan Lost Phoenix. And this is slightly unusual design base here. And Dave is bringing 3 rage and 2 freeze. We saw Lamb bring 3 freeze and 2 rage. And you know I bring 2 rage, 2 freeze, and a lightning. Now right away this attack looks kind of messy as you've got this giant confrontation down here by the southeast enclosure, but Dave has very calmly deployed his units and he's using those backup wizards to take out those clan castle troops. And look at this rage spell. It's down here early. It's going to help eliminate the clan castle troops, but then it's also going to be here long enough that when Dave drops those wall breakers, they are going to very easily open up the enclosure to the town hall. And now, you see he still hasn't dropped his king and his queen. He drops 3 more wizards at the top to help take out those remaining surrounding structures, and then sends in his king. The king heads towards those structures as well, and now very patiently he waits for those structures to be cleared before he drops his queen. And watch her change directions there as she heads for that town hall enclosure, which is very congested with a lot of buildings, but he's going to use a rage spell here in a moment on the queen. Perfectly placed, gets her in it for a long time. Freeze spells also grabbing more than 1 defensive structure at a time. She's going to get in there, she's going to go after that town hall, and with that rage spell she will beat those defenses, take out the town hall, and he's got 2 stars. So as you can see here, there is definitely more than one effective way to GoWiWi. It's just a matter of perfecting your own style and approach and getting used to it and using it over and over again until you run it flawlessly. Alright, we're going to wrap up this episode, but please do check out the Clan Lost Phoenix on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter at Lost Phoenix Clan.
And follow me at Peter$17.
And we'll be back very soon with another episode, and I promise, no more rhyming.
Oh, thank God, that was terrible.